no doubt in my mind that the Eagles are going to be active before the trade deadline. And if there were two positions the Eagles would go out and upgrade, it would be running back and, more importantly, pass rusher. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So it's just a matter of time before Howie Roseman, with his pocket pencil protector and his Napoleon hat, is going to calculate the calculations of the cornbread and bring in another pass rusher. It's just a matter of who and when. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure to hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. We will be streaming tomorrow night's game. You don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know. I don't even have to tell you. You know what to do. Double check. Double moonwalk check. And make sure you're still subscribed. Now, let's get right into it with some Eagles news, okay? Today, the Eagles signed a offensive tackle to the practice squad, Roderick Johnson. Now, Roderick Johnson, he was I don't know much about him, but he was signed after the Eagles lost Raven Clark. And Johnson, he was drafted in the 5th round of the 2017 NFL Draft out of Florida State. He has made 6 starts in 29 total games with the Texans before spending time on the Chiefs roster, the Dolphins and Chiefs roster this summer. So, practice squad guy, they had to add another offensive lineman. They've lost 2 offensive linemen the last 2 weeks. So, it's something that had to be done. Also, we got to talk about this because this I'm super excited about. And it almost guarantees, as close as you can get to a guarantee, almost guarantees that the Eagles will not lose Christmas Eve. They're not going to lose Christmas Eve anyways, because you're not ruining my Christmas. But now I don't have to worry about it. The Eagles' black helmets will be worn 3 of the final 7 regular season games. So they're not just wearing it one time. They're actually going to wear it 3 times. And I got to tell you, when they bring the Kelly Green out next year, I hope they wear them at least 2 or 3 times. But here's the games the Eagles will be wearing the black helmets. Week 12, Green Bay Packers, the Sunday night game. That's November 27th. Week 16, at Dallas. Christmas Eve. Yes. They're going to be wearing it because the Cowboys always wear their white jerseys at home because they're stupid. And then you got Week 18, New York Giants. Final game of the season. They'll be wearing it also. That's going to be a game where the Eagles will legitimately be sitting all their starters, because we're going to have clinched everything, baby. Yeah, I need a drink. I'm starting to have problems from all smoking. We're winning so much, I'm smoking so many stogies, I can't stop it. Pinky up. Always, when you drink, pinky up. Shows you got class. Now, I'm also going to pause for the stogie comment and the pinky, just in case. So, there are 2 positions that I think the Eagles are going after before the trade deadline is up. One of them is going to be a running back, and I think that could be a trade. Look for that as a possible trade. The other is an edge rusher. I think the Eagles need to add another edge rusher, more importantly for depth than anything else. And according to the rumors, Eagles are expected to have interest in outside linebacker edge rusher market. According to Adam Kaplan of Inside the Birds podcast. Shout out to Inside the Birds podcast. Great podcast. If you haven't, go check it out. But he says Philadelphia is interested in bringing in another pass rusher. And here's what he said. Our understanding is they're definitely looking to an outside linebacker edge rusher market. Not talking making a trade, but they may work some guys out. Who knows? We'll see if they're in on anyone yet. They did lose Barnett, so they should be. And I definitely think that they should be. The question is who would it be? Who would the Eagles go after? There are a few names out there. Here's a list of some free agent edge rushers. Outside linebacker D Ford, 30 years old. Outside linebacker Jamie Collins, 32. Defensive end Everson Griffin, 34. Defensive end Alex Okafor, 31. Benson Mayowa, 30. And then this can't be real. I mean, this is the part that, yeah, right. You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. Defensive end Jannard Avery, no shot. And of course, Nate Gary. That's a joke. That's a joke. He don't mean it. Victor Williams, shout out to him. That's definitely a joke because, oh my God, I would lose it. I would lose my mind if the Eagles went out and brought him in. Could you imagine? Oh my God. I don't even want to think about it. There are two guys on this list that actually interest me, okay? There's really only two. The first one we'll talk about is D Ford. Now, I like D Ford. I think he would be very serviceable. No question about it. 30 years old. Now, he had 3 sacks last year. He got shut down because of a back injury. This is a problem with him. He's had some back injuries. He's had some neck injuries. That kind of scares me a little bit. It really does, because I don't need a guy coming in and getting hurt. That's the last thing I want. So he's somebody that could come in, maybe play. The back would be a big issue for me. I'd have to really check him out. Pause. But yeah, D Ford, he could be an interesting guy. The other guy, and this is my preference, okay, would be Everson Griffin. Now, Everson Griffin, if you look at him, he's 34 years old. He played last year in 9 games with Minnesota. He had 5 sacks in those 9 games. Then he got hurt. So he was productive, okay? And to me, if I can get 5 sacks from Everson Griffin, if he could come in and give me 5 sacks, then to me, he's giving you Derek Barnett's production. He's actually giving you more than Derek Barnett was giving you production-wise. I think that would be not a bad way to go. So if I had to choose out of that list of free agents, I would choose Everson Griffin. I would. I would take a look at D Ford. It would really depend on his injury. Back scares me. Neck scares me. But I think Everson Griffin could be somebody that can come in. You can play him inside at times too, and he can play outside. So you can move him around. He may be the perfect guy to be a rotational piece. Remember, we're not looking for a guy to come in and supplant any of the starters. We're looking for somebody to add to the rotation, somebody to help add some depth. That's what the Eagles most likely are looking for. So those are some guys. Now, obviously, Howie's going to do his due diligence on teams, and this is where it becomes interesting, because if you just kind of hang in there and wait, let's say you just keep going with what you have. And I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to letting like Taron Jackson just play and learn and see what he can do for a few more weeks. Get closer to the trade deadline. You don't know which team is going to be stinking it up like the Saints, or which team is going to be looking to sell off pieces. And this may be the perfect opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles to go out and make a trade. Somebody we're not even thinking. I mean, it's somebody you're not even thinking about. Go out, make a trade for them, and then go ahead and get yourself a pass rusher. There's always somebody that becomes free, especially as the trade deadline comes towards you. So there's options. I don't think there's any reason to panic. I mean, this team just had 9 sacks last week. They're looking good. They're playing good. So if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I would go out and I would probably work out D Ford, work out Everson Griffin, but I would look to probably give, and this is probably what I would do. I would give Taron Jackson, those guys, I'd give them more time. Give them more time. And as we get closer to trade deadline, then I make a decision. Are they good? Are we good with what we have? Do we bring in somebody like a D Ford, Everson Griffin, if they're still available? Or has somebody broken free from a trade? Now, the ultimate piece would be Robert Quinn. If Robert Quinn became available, how could you not make a trade for him? He would be a huge upgrade for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, he would add a lot of value, and that would be, all of a sudden, that would be a very nasty, very scary pass rush. This pass rush has to be good every week, because Gannon doesn't like to blitz a whole lot, although he's doing it more, but he likes to get pressure with his front four. If you look at that Washington game last week, the guy got consistent pressure with his front four. So, yes, the Eagles are going to probably look to upgrade that defensive line. I think it's a good idea. And like I said, the other spot, running back. If you get the opportunity, let's say the Raiders keep losing and a Josh Jacobs becomes available. Yes, make a play for him. I think they need another running back. I still think they need a more physical running back. Why hasn't Sermon played one time yet this year? Why is he a healthy scratch? The Eagles look at Boston Scott as their big back. I can't rely on that anymore. I don't think he's a big back. You need a short yardage back. I do not want that short yardage back to be Jalen Hurts. I think that's a mistake. So yes, the Eagles have to go out and they have to look at the pass rusher and they have to look at the running back and add depth to both pieces. That's just what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. I almost forgot to say this. You gotta congratulate Brandon Graham on winning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. This is the second week in a row a Philadelphia Eagles player has won it. But congratulations to Brandon Graham. I totally forgot to talk about this in the video. Thing is this guy's coming back from an Achilles. A torn Achilles, okay, and his age usually that usually isn't good. He looks fantastic. So congratulations, shout out to Brandon Graham, Denzel Washington